the scope of variables is the part of the program where the variables is accessible. So like C++, in Java, all identifiers are statically a scope. That is, scope of a variable can be determined at a compile time and independent of the function called stack. We'll see how Java scope variables works. So Java scope rules can be covered under following categories. There is instance variables, static variables, local variables, parameter scope, and block scope. So we have seen what is instance, static, and local variables in previous video. So instance variable, that is class level scope. These variables must be declared inside class, outside any functions. They can be directly accessed anywhere in class. Let's take a look at an example. So here we have, or I have a test class. So all variable defined directly inside class are member variable. So here int a and private string b and char c are instance variable. So we can declare class variables anywhere in the class, but outside the method, and access specified of member variable doesn't affect scope of them within the class. Member variables can be accessed outside a class as well. Again, based on the access modifier, here it's private, so it will be accessed within the class itself. Then we have a static variable, like it's a type of class variables shared across instance. So static variables are the variables which once declared can be used anywhere, even outside the class, without initializing the class. So unlike local variable, its scope is not limited to a class or a block. So here the only difference between instance variable and static variable is, so it has like static variable has a keyword static. So this can be used direct, like it can be accessed directly using class name. So if you want to if you want to get instance variable, first you need to create an object like a test object or whatever the class you have created. You have to create first, then using that object we need to access the local variables. But in case of static variable, you can directly access it using class name and dot operator. Then we have method level scope. Again, it's a local variable. So variables are declared inside method have a method level scope and can't access outside the method. So outside the method, like any variable which are declared within the method won't have visibility. Like if you try to access also, you will get an error. So here int x is a local variable which is declared within a method. Again, we have a parameter scope and block level scope. So here, in case of parameter scope, again it's a method scope itself, except that this time the variable got passed in as a parameter. So here you can see int x, and again we are using this here, but here int x is a parameter scope. So if you don't have this, like the value of x within this method will be the same as whatever it is passed. So here this keyword is used to differentiate between local and class variable. So here this x will be considered as like whatever the value we have here, like the int value will be overwritten with this value, like, or past value. Then we have a block level scope, a variable declared inside a pair of brackets in a method. Like if you don't have any method, let's say you don't have method, this will be considered as or in this case this will be considered as a block level scope, so which is declared within a brackets. So let's see a example here. So I have a Java scope of variables, so where I have used all the um, scope, like I have instance variable, static variable, like which is belongs to each object and shared among all the instance. So the difference between these two is the static keyword. Then the like I have used a constructor demonstrating parameter scope. So here you can see instance where the same instance where I'm using, and I'm using this keyword to refer instance variable, method to demonstrate local parameter and block scope. Here local variable, local var is the local variable, then param var is a parameter level scope, then block var variable is for block level scope. So in this case, if I try to use this outside the block or outside this block, I'll get an error saying it's not created or declared. So I have main method here. So first thing what I did is I'm creating Java scope of variables object. Means the syntax for is use the name, give the variable name and use new keyword. Here I'm passing 50 as a value. So I have a constructor here. So the value for instance where means at first it is 10. Now it will be 50. Then object dot show scopes is 30. So show scope I'm using here, passing the param var. So local var is 20. So here instance variable it will be print as a 50, then static variable it's 100, then local or like, sorry, method parameter is what I have passed, that is 30. So until here it will print local instance variable, static variable, method parameter and local variable and block variable. Next I have a difference like local block level variables. Here you can see this will be considered as a block 1 as well as a local. So it will print 1 to 10. Then outside the same variable like int I am using and I'm printing it here. So let me execute this. So let's analyze now. At first JavaScope variable I mean like passing as 50. So the first it was like at first it was 10. As I have passed 50, it's changed to 50 because I'm using this keyword here which will difference local and instance 1. Then static variable which is 100 already initialized. Then method parameter so which is what like I'm passing, that is 30. Then local variable is 20, block variable is 5. So if the local variable is greater than 10, it will come here and it will like I'm initializing here and I'm printing the block variable. Then comes the block level and local level variable. So I'm printing 1 to 10 here. Then outside I'm using same variable and you can see I'm printing 20. If I use directly, if I try to print it directly, I will get an error. You can see it's the error here. It's not available. It is asking me to create a variable. Same for this. If I remove this, I'll get an error saying cannot be resolved to a variable because it's not declared. As it is declared within the block, it will give error, means we can't use it outside the block. Same for local variable. If I try to use local variable outside the scope, outside the show scope method, I will get a same error. So this is all about scope of variables in Java. Thanks for watching.